Okay, so moving on to part three, video three, part three. Um, I haven't gotten a box set like this before. It's Transformers, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. But I've never, I mean, you can buy from Toy Source and Big Bad Toy Store and Hobby Japan. You can buy in bulk like this, but I've never bought in bulk like this before. So this is a new experience for me. Now, like I said, there's already a package in the mail that's expected today, and then there's another one expected in the mail tomorrow. So this is actually one of three packages from this specific series. Specifically, the Studio series of Transformers. Boy, I packed that in there really well. And I totally missed an opportunity to tell a really good joke and say we've gone from the really good Transformers to the not as good Transformers, and then ended up with the really bad Transformers. So, yep, we're going movie studio series this time. For clarification, I've never gotten any of the high. Well, no, that's totally untrue. I've gotten two, not one, but two high quality Bayformers figures in the past. The first one was technically, it was classified as movie masterpiece Starscream, but it was just the Dark of the Moon leader class figure repainted to look like the Revenge of the Fallen, or no, to look like the Bayformers 1 version. So technically, that's classified as a masterpiece, but technically, it's not masterpiece because we all know better. So shut your face. And then I had the what was it, the APU-01 Optimus Prime Ultimate Edition, or was it like Platinum Edition or something like that, which is a huge freaking box. I did this whole unboxing thing and I didn't like how long it was, so I just reshot my initial, or reshot commentary like this. There's got to be some way I can get rid of that, because it's the spring that's putting tension on the thing. So, anyways, yes, but this time we're actually moving to actual high quality Bayformers, if you can call it that. So we've got Brawl or Devastator, if you watch the movie, which Michael Bay knew what Devastator was because they very much pointed it out, but for whatever reason, he stuck with the name Devastator for the movie. But all marketing, nowhere will you see this particular character marked as Devastator. You'll see him marked that way in the movie, but you will never ever see him marked that way in toy form, or I should say in physical form. It'll never happen. If there is an example, please do tell me. And then from the following movie, Revenge of the Fallen, Megatron, which I've mentioned more than a few times is my favorite version of Bayformers Megatron, at least until I finally get my ass around to watching Age of Extinction and what was it, the Last Night. I still need to see those movies. So yeah, this is my current favorite incarnation. And I'll talk about this in a moment. God, I hope I don't have to turn these two Voyagers into other hour-long videos. That would kind of suck. So the idea with the Studio Series is they are not reissues. They are completely new original figures, but unlike all the toys that have been done previously, they are all being intentionally kept to scale with each other. So Bumblebee and Jazz, rest in peace, and Barricade and Jolt. Are they going to do Jolt? I hope they do. And maybe they'll do the twins. I kind of hope they do the twins, kind of. All of those characters, and oh, what was the red guy's name? Mirage? No, it wasn't Mirage. I can't think of the red sports car from Dark of the Moon. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Anyways, all of those are going to be deluxe size figures, about this big. They will all be that size. And then you're going to get the Voyager class figures, which are Optimus Prime, Megatron, apparently, Brawl, Blackout, I guess. And then you'll have leader class figures such as Grimlock and maybe Blackout. I can't remember if Blackout's a Voyager or leader. So, anyways, they're actually keeping to intentional scales this time. So, which means that Brawl, which I have, which I don't really want to mess around with because he is kind of a pain in the ass. Brawl was originally a leader class figure back in 2007. Here it is, 2019. I already cut that. Pay attention. Big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. Mission City Battle. Decepticon Brawl rips through metal and concrete, fulfilling his evil orders from Megatron. Backdrop included. I'm going to keep the backdrops. Well, they're just going to stay in the box, so whatever. So, anyways, Brawl this time, not Devastator, but Brawl is going to be imagined as a Voyager class figure. Screw it. Let's pull it out. Sorry. Let's pull this out and let's see what happens. I'm not going to display them. There go the instructions. Buried. So here's the display case, and you're supposed to open this up a little bit. So that's what that is. And then you can, if you want to, you can open this up even farther. I don't have the shelf space to do that. So this guy's probably going to be stored in vehicle mode, and he's going to be stuck in a drawer, unfortunately. F-15s would never fly below the high-rise buildings. That's alien. That's not friendly. And then 2 minutes later, you see him flying in between the buildings to chase down Starscream. Wait a minute. Why is the silhouette for the Autobot logo on the side of a... Oh, that's one. All right, never mind. I didn't think. So this time we have a Voyager class figure. Hopefully it won't take... And it's not a triple changer. And it doesn't have a little robot hidden within. But the instructions are a lot longer for some reason. How many steps? 36 steps. Jesus. That's probably not even including the other side. God. It's going to take a while. Oh, Brawl. Oh, wow. What is this arm kibble bullshit? It's the first thing I see. It's like, wow. He has arm kibble. Grr. I can understand, like, back of the legs, back of the back, and whatever, but, like, it's on the outside of his forearm. Ugh. I like the original figure. I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, but I did enjoy it. And before you ask, yes, I do have Steve Jablonsky's original score to the first Bayformers movie. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the soundtracks to any of the others for various reasons. The song that sold it for me was... Oh, I'm so glad that had a plastic cover on it. Oh, you can't even see his eyes. That's great. That's actually a compliment. You can't see his eyes. That's good. Because that's how Bayformers work. You can't pick out those kinds of details, which is something I like. And oh man, dude, this is even gonna... Oh, huh? Doesn't fold all the way back. Unfortunately, Brawl, you were taken from us far too soon. Good God. He's got 4 cannon barrels, a light, and a targeting sensor, and then he's got, what is that, a minigun under there? Dude, does this rotate? I don't think so. No, it doesn't. So just keep in mind, these Studio Series figures, they're not toys. They're not really meant for kids. This is aimed a little more squarely at masochistic adult collectors. But anyways, the thing that sold Steve Jablonsky's score for the first Bayformers movie had to be Arrival to Earth. It's either Arrival to Earth or Arrival at Earth. That song that plays when the Autobots descend in their what were they called? What were those modes called? I don't know. It's like drop pod, descent pod mode, or whatever it was. That song that plays in there, all the way from where Bumblebee takes the kids to what the hell's hooking now? From that moment to where wow. Oh wow, Hollow. That doesn't match. That's not even... Does it tab on? No, it doesn't. This is my very first experience with the movie, what's this called? Studio Series. This is my first exposure to it, so... That's really hollow. I was just about to say they're high quality meant for collectors, but if that's the case... It's like, you got him originally as a leader class figure, now you're going to get him as a Voyager. They made a Voyager class version of this guy, but, is this diecast metal? No, it's not. And the cannon barrel that everybody said broke. Broke on mine, too, so, yeah. And those fold around. Nice. So anyways, there's this, it's on the right side here. This right panel refuses to snap into place. Just, it's not having it. Now there is a tab. Well, let's see. Oh, hang on, maybe. Oh, it's designed to do that. I see. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Crisis averted. But he does have a cannon barrel right between his legs. That's unfortunate. But yeah, that music from when Bumblebee takes kids to the Griffith Observatory, all the way to when Optimus Prime leans down in the alleyway. That whole sequence in there just magnifique. Let's see. Okay, so that goes on that side. Where's his hands? Huh. Oh, his hands are molded in. You can't. Wow. Oh, he's got two elbow joints. Weird. I see what they're trying to do, but like, huh? That's very weird. That's very weird. That's very weird. Why is that not tilting forward all the way? You know what? I'm not going to force that. It's brand new. I'm not going to force that. Okay, so then that's his forearm. But he can hold these in his hand, by the way. He can hold both of these in his hands, but I'm not going to put them in his... Oh, okay. So then that means that that forearm kibble that I was just talking about that's on the outside of his arm, it actually goes on the back of his arms. It ends up on the back there because he's got some strange... He has some strange elbows. He's got weird double jointed elbows. How good is your head articulation? Head is on a ball joint. You can kind of look around. Kind of look left, kind of look right. You can barely see his two eyes in there. I thought he had four eyes. Like literally four eyes. I need to get to a theater and see Bumblebee the movie. I need to get to a theater and see Bumblebee the movie. That will be unacceptable. Like I saw my one movie for 2018 in the theater, which was First Man, which was not a bad movie. There was some peculiar artistic choices for First Man, but I did enjoy it. I saw that in was it November, I think? His face popped off. Where is it? There it is. His face popped off. Did it break off? Oh, it's glued on. His face is glued on. Okay, so in answer to the question, he actually does have four eyes. I don't think the camera will be able to pick it up. I don't think the camera's that discriminate, but there are four very tiny little red dots in there. I don't think you're meant to take this off, but I did. So, boy, they really buried it in there. Wow, that's impressive. Uh-oh. Oh, it was glued on and I popped it off. Wow. Okay, it's a good chance. Wow. It was glued on and I popped it off in the first 5 minutes. So he's not gonna have a face. Wow. That's ironic considering Optimus is regularly asking for characters' faces. But ironically, I don't have an Optimus within reach right now. Oh wait, I totally do. Oh wait, it's not that Optimus. All right, so he's gonna be he's gonna be faceless. Okay, so I was just trying to bend the knee and then my hand slipped. Why does he have rocket engine? He has rocket engines on the bottom of his feet. Why? He's also got an unusual tab I don't recognize. But yeah, Steve Jablonsky. Unfortunately, and yes, I apologize for mispronouncing his name still. Steve Jablonsky's his work did get fairly well buried underneath all the special effects, or I'm sorry, special sound effects. So, yeah. Please turn. Please don't break it. There we go. There we go. There was a problem with his shoulders not pegging in properly. That's probably so I could fit in the box a little better. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so that takes care of that problem. All right. No ratcheting whatsoever. But yeah, Jablonski's score was just, oh, it was amazing. So his hips are not ball joints. You can't turn them. But you can turn them. You can turn his legs at the knees. So, alright. No ankle tilts. Actually, he doesn't have any foot articulation. Wait, maybe. Maybe. He does not. Alright. What do you think this is? A leader class figure? This thing is merciless in his, or the figure is merciless and like things sticking out all over the place and you don't quite know where you're supposed to grab on. Me cutting his face off is any indication of that. I'll say it to this day, which is why I bring up the Bumblebee movie. I'll stick to it today. To this day, the Bayformers aesthetic, like the visual appearance of the bots, I still respect it. They did the right thing. They did the absolutely the right thing for the first live action movie. They did absolutely the right thing, and for all the successful ones, like regardless of which bot you like and what they look like visually, or like this is what Optimus looks like. This is not what Optimus looks like. Regardless of that particular nerd debate, visually the aesthetic that they chose for all of the characters to make them look like walking scrap heaps, that's the part that I liked. Because, and I'll say it again, how can you know what an alien? What is this? Is this me or the toy? That's me. How can you know what an alien shape-changing robot looks like? And I'd like to see you compact down into a car or to whatever it is without changing into 10,104 parts. Oh, he has really thin shoulders. And obviously, the version that we got, the leader class version in 2007 that we got, like most of the other figures, was fairly close to how he appeared in the movie, but not quite. And again, please forgive me, his face is currently sitting in there. Having a tank as a Voyager class figure, there's something wrong about that. Like, you have leader class figures, but it's being made as a Voyager. Just. Well, he's got friction joints in all the right places, so yay for that. But I'll say it to my dying day. The visual aesthetic is great, and then everybody says about Bumblebee, like, oh, they're this is what they should have looked like, in Bayformers. Why didn't they do it that way? I agree with that. I also agree with that position. Mostly where I disagree is that they are too G1 specific. I need to start paying attention here. But kind of my problem with the figures is they're too G1 specific. They're too, like, if you want to cover up some of these harsh angles in the legs and you want to, thicken this up a little bit, okay, that's fine. I don't disagree with that. What I disagree with is if it looks nothing like nothing but G1 Brawl, where it has big blocky legs and the arms can only do this a little bit. That's where I have the problem. Soundwave looks like G1 Soundwave. Optimus Prime looks like G1 Optimus Prime. On and on and on down the line. I need to start paying attention here. So that's kind of where I draw the line. Like, yeah, it is nice and it is a good thing to see, but they look like they jumped straight out of the 80s. So, okay, I need to start paying attention here. Well, I know that those pop outs, so we'll just start there. The problem is I don't know where to grab on. Those missile launcher ball and socket joints are going to go. It's like 2mm. It's like the 4mm. Those ball joints are really, really tiny on there. They're like those 2mm ball joints, or is it 4mm ball joints on Revoltech figures. If you read my review, I didn't do a video of it, but if you read my review of Revoltech Wally, you'll understand my hesitation there. I have no idea where to start. That's a good thing, by the way. That's what Bayformers should be like. You don't know where to start. You don't know where to grab on. comes to bayformers, I need to devote my full attention here. So it's so creepy. The first thing I did was tear his face off. And the first thing I'm gonna do is bury his head, because why not? Yeah, I'm gonna put his head down first. Well, first I'm gonna rip his face off, then I'm gonna put his head down. There we go. Part of the problem with these instructions, though, I'm gonna be heavily editing this transformation. By the way, I'm not gonna hold it up here, but one of the problems with these instructions is yet again black background, gray figure, gray highlights or purple highlights, and I don't like that. I just don't like that. This is definitely a collector quality figure. Look, it's gonna get lost in this thing. I can't point the. What are these, machine guns? Or I thought they were missile launchers. Anyways, I can't point them forward completely. They're always going to be angled. See the two missile launchers that used to be over shoulders. Well, now they're angled a little bit, but they're always angled out to the sides. I wonder why. Oh, the turret can move. Good. The second turret can move. God, I can't see this shit. Even the close-ups are so tiny. This is bayformers we're talking about here. You can't see this kind of shit. Like, I'm complaining about it with the regular figures like that. Like, it's too small, you can't see it. I was able to guess on Optimal Optimus because I had the original versions or whatever. Was it Evolution Optimus Prime, however, I needed the instructions for that one, and they were real tiny like this. But this is bayformers we're talking about, where surface detail is literally an extreme, and the pictures are even tinier. And they're covered in all kinds of surfaces. It's like, how am I supposed to see this shit? And no, I don't need glasses. My vision is just fine. Well, you need an attitude adjustment. Because, like, step 12, it says turn the arms around, but it doesn't say how. And then step 13, there's an insert photo, but you can't see what the hell it's pointing out. Oh, this is dumb. I'm going to have to guess at some of these stages, which I really don't want to do. I shouldn't have to guess. Like the instructions back in 2007, you could see them fine. But it's this stupid stylistic choice bullshit they came up with whenever it was. What? I wonder if there's online instructions I could use, because this is some kind of bullshit. I'm going to look up instructions. This is too hard. I can't see what I'm doing. So there's like 8 different versions of Decepticon Brawl in Hasbro's official online instructions, and none of them are this figure. So I am slightly stuck. Well, you like to brag about your inner transformationist, Ava. Which, by the way, I need to find a new phrase, because that phrase does not apply anymore. I need to figure out how the core of this thing bends around. By the way, I also realized that the pictures on the box do not match the actual figure itself. For example, there's some gold just below his knees, but it's silver on this figure, so. Okay, I figured out how to change one leg. Yay. But it's not the whole figure. Okay, so I figured out from the shin down all by myself, I think. So he does kind of have his. He kind of has a foot joint, kind of, but you have to unpeg stuff, and it's not very stable when you do. So. Okay. It's not just that this is a bayformer, although that is part of it. It's that this is a bayformer Wait, how does this goes like this, and then this flips over? Okay. Damn. Damn. Holy shit. Who came up with this? Damn. Oh my gosh, that means the turret does turn. Both turrets move. Damn. Okay, now do it again, Ava. Oh my god. At this point, you know what? This shit right here. This. And by the way, I tried to look up the instructions. Yeah, there's assistance numbers. I tried both of those numbers, and none of them worked. So, like, get rid of that shit. I'm doing it all myself now. I'm just gonna go based on how good I am at being a trans fan. And one of the reasons I like Transformers, generic term, is because they are like little puzzles. They're made of a single piece. You hear me over there, Bandai Plex Toei? They're made of a single piece. And you have to figure out how to get them from point A to point B. Ooh, that's a little early for that. You have to get them from point A to point B. And you can't immediately recognize what the hell it is in either mode. Good God. Who the hell designed this thing? I almost want to shake their hand. And the high functioning autism, which, you know, I don't hide that fact. The high functioning, aha, that's how it works. Okay. The high functioning autism definitely helps. It's called tunnel vision. We Aspies are the elite of nerds. Never get into an argument with somebody with high functioning autism. You will lose. Okay, now I know what, now I know kind of what's going on. Okay, so I know how to collapse down the arms. Okay, damn. But I'm not going to do that just yet because I need to keep working on the other part of the problem is that this is a Voyager class figure. It's a Bayformers Voyager class figure, which means and then those go forward. Maybe you should try to keep this up here since I'm burning a lot of daylight here. The headlights. What the hell? There we go. Okay. God, this would be a nightmare. I do not recommend the Studio series for kids. I don't. That's I would not. I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it. Oh, and then his head goes back up into the. Wow, dude, that's sick. His head is almost looking up through that front cockpit section, dude. Which is very similar to what the original figure did as well. Although it was part of his automorph, so it was a different deal back then. What is this? Oh, well, if that's secure, then it means that can't turn. Okay, so the upper turret can turn, but the main turret can't. It turns for the transformation, but it doesn't turn in vehicle mode. Okay, and the barrel does not elevate, so it's like a very, very complex G2 Megatron tank. That's what this is. It's like that's basically where everything ends up. Like the legs become the back and the body of the tank, and then the arms become the turret. The torso becomes the front of the Nunny. Why is that so tight? What the hell? How am I supposed to get that out of there? Oh my god. Why is that there, but it's not on there? Gosh, if only I could look at the instructions, it would answer a few of my questions. They should have put some die-cast metal in some of these joints. Not the armor, because obviously that would raise the cost, but I'm talking about joints specifically. It's like with that one third-party evasion mode Optimus. I wish like it had die-cast metal just for the sake of it, but it wasn't structural die-cast metal. And there are some places like you really, really need to put pressure on these things, but you ultimately can't put pressure on them. I am totally confused by what that. Whatever. Alright, so I'm going to secure the legs and the main hull before I finish the turret. I am having fun. Just I'm concentrating. So like don't confuse my concentration with like I'm not at that stage yet. I am having fun. This is fun to me. I'm enjoying myself. Just the frustration comes from they provided instructions, yet the instructions are unreadable. And then when you go online to look for instructions, those instructions they don't have instructions available. So I'm going to refine this a little bit over time, but for the time being, I'm going to go with that. By the way, I don't know why they made the decision to base Brawl or Devastator on uh, the tank that was used in, was it Triple X, Enemy of the State or something like that, or State of the Union, I think was what it was called. If you look at the stealth tank that's in that movie, it's exactly the same. For whatever reason, like they could have made a new tank, but for whatever reason, Hasbro was like, no, we'll just go with that. So, god damn. Those tolerances are so tight. This is ridiculous. What time is it? It's almost 4. It's 3:30 actually. I may have to take a break before I attack Megatron. Before I attack Megatron? Yeah, right. God, getting those lower turret panels into position, that's freaky. Because you want to... Oh, there we go. Okay. I just found a solution to that. Okay. I just have to remember that next time. God. Oh, now I can't see anything. Wonderful. Okay, there we go. Oh, it doesn't turn. Well, you can turn it if you pop it out a little bit. Is it designed to bend that way? Yeah, you can. Okay. So if you make the turret stick out, it will turn. But if you want to complete the transformation, you have to make it flush, and then you lose your ability to turn the turret. So neither turret turns in tank mode. Wow, how did they do that? It's not perfectly flush. There's a bit of kibble. You can see at the back of the turret there. It's not quite as flush as I would like it to be. But again, I'll have to refine this a little bit, as the more I transform this. That is to say, I'm only going to transform this one time ever, and that would be right now. And to think I did that whole thing without the instructions, without any instructions whatsoever, like getting the arms to flip around, like, okay. But like, once you realize it's done up like G2 Megatron, it's just a bit more complicated. There's more steps to it. Then it's like, oh, okay, now I know how to do it. I think the most complicated part's going to be um, flipping the torso around. Like you have to bend the head forward. You have to pull this panel out, and you flip the head back. And then you pull the whole thing forward, and then you flip this panel out, and then you flip the head back again. So there's a really weird combination there. Very clean. So why is that one protesting? It's probably not. Ah, there we go. Okay. Huh. Neat. And even his ankle joints. These are his ankles right here. Let's see, were they there on the original? Yeah. Yeah, because the gas tanks on the back, or whatever they actually are, those kind of unfolded to become the feet. But anyways, these are his ankle joints, and darn if you could tell it. Well done, Hasbro, Takara, whoever designed this. Well done. Now, if you flip it over, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff under there and whatever, and I also have to glue his face back on. But yeah, well done. Does it really matter which one's on which side? I don't think it does. Oh, by the way, you can totally store his. Oh, is it designed to do that, or maybe it just pops off? I don't know. So the minigun from the claw, you can take it out. I don't know if you're supposed to, but you can. But I was really careful with it. I was being very, very careful to remove it. So there was an also slight twist to it you can do. So I don't know if you're supposed to be able to do that, but you can do it. It's still made of ABS plastic or whatever. So it's you can't put a lot of pressure on it. You'll have to be very careful with it. I'm gonna put the actual the silver was painted on, but the handle was left plain. Good work, Hasbro. I'm glad you guys recognize that. I don't think he had his guns visible on the top of the tank. He like there was a standard machine gun or whatever it is on the top, but I don't remember if it was supposed to look like a transformery weapon or not. I don't think it was. The original leader class figure was a little kind of a soft ABS type machine gun that sits up on the top there. But anyways, you can store, and it actually looks appropriate considering he's covered in weapons anyways: grenade launchers, missile launchers, a second turret for some strange reason. Um, if you put his accessories on the top, they kind of get hidden and you don't have to worry about it. So how long has this been going? Half hour plus however much on the front end. Gosh, I may end up doing 4 videos out of one box. Jeez. Then I've got a box coming in today, and then I've got a box coming in tomorrow. So, hmm. Well, for my first exposure to the studio series, I keep wanting to say movie masterpiece so badly, but it's not. It's studio series. Um, Not bad. Not bad. Just like the most complicated part is you can't read the fucking instructions because they're too tiny. But it's compounded by the fact that it's a Bayformer we're talking about. So it already has massive amounts. It's a walking scrap heap, literally. And then when you try and put a whacking scrap heap, I mean, look at this. Look how detailed that is. And that's just posed. It's a walking scrap heap. Yes, it is. I acknowledge that. I'm not denying that at all. But when you have a walking scrap heap and then you make each individual picture not even 2 inches tall, that's an issue. That's a really big issue. It's really tiny. It's really tiny. It's not even 2 inches. You know. So that's where my problem is. Like, I'm sure the instructions are very clear about what happens, but A, the colors are terrible, and B, the figure itself is so detailed in the instructions that, I can't, like, what the fuck. And it has nothing to do with wearing glasses, although a magnifying glass might help. But, jeez. I assume the back is. Oh, the back is the rest of it. Okay. Oh, so they want you to put the turret to get the upper turret. That's confusing as hell. And that just says reverse steps to convert back. Gosh, it would have been nice if I could have been able to read these, but I was so frustrated with it. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I don't know. I'm a little worried about the friction on the bottom of the feet. There's a peg that you flip out on the other side of one of the feet, and then there's a hole in the other foot. You're supposed to wedge the 2 feet together like this, and I'm really worried that tab into the slot, yeah, the tab into the slot thing. That's what I'm concerned about. There's a lot of friction in there, and that worries me. Is this a Bayformer? Yes, absolutely. Is it a Bayformer in the way it transforms? Yes, it is. So that's what I'm aiming for. It is absolutely a Bayformer, both in its appearance and and how it transforms. And kind of the key ingredient for me is it got rid of the automorph. The automorph on the original figure, I'm having to think back 12 years, folks. Give me a break. The automorph on the original figure was not bad. Was neat, especially on Brawl. How was that triggered? Oh yeah, you something like you press a button on his chest, and then um, the two mine plow, whatever it is, those fold down, and then the head, which is normally buried, the head pops up. Something like that. I don't remember exactly. It's been quite a few years since I transformed it, so they got rid of the automorph, which is good. What all did they have? Having to remember how that figure transformed. So, do I wish this was a leader, 12-inch leader class figure again? Yes, absolutely. That would help because I'd actually be able to hang on to things and put pressure where I need to. But on the other hand, what they came up with is pretty darn satisfying. Not for kids. Just don't. Just don't. Okay, you guys remember how you guys even remember Binaltech and alternators? Like, I know we're not supposed to talk about that, but do you guys remember how complex those were? Those were very much not meant for kids. And then Bayforms came along and said, "Hold my beer." This is the exact same thing. Okay, so it's a complex. It is a complex transformation. The fact that I had to use the instructions didn't help my case, but it's very complicated. There's a big old hole right in the center. I can actually reach through. So somehow this turned into a 4 video thing. I didn't think it would, but it did. It says this one's crossing, almost about to hit 30 minutes on the backside of this from when I had to go look for other instructions. So the last one for today will be Revenge of the Fallen Megs. So I'll be covering him. I need to go get something to eat. So I'm going to go get something to eat and then I'll come back and work on this. So I'll see you in a couple of seconds.